What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic. And today, we're diving into the season 2 of Fallout. Oh yes, we are. Thanks to Amazon, we have a Christmas present in the package of a nuclear Fallout. But it seems kind of weird until you realize this is one of their more precious little TV gems. We could have gotten this, or I guess like Rings of Power. I don't know what else do they have. Surprise! It's another season of Maisel. I don't know. Um, a fast reacher season. They don't have a lot. Anyway, so Fallout. Just in time for Christmas, and I forgot season one. But luckily, there is actually a really in depth look at season one. So if you actually like me, it's been a minute, and you don't fully remember everything that happened in season one, that catch up worked pretty well. That was like a nice adrenaline rush to the brain of information. So it has audio description still. I think it's the same person. Like as soon as I heard the voice, I was like, I feel like I'm at home. This feels like it's the same person. This feels like what I would have expected for Fallout. So I think we maintained the same audio description narration. Anyway, um, so what had happened was on Fallout, Lucy and the Ghoul are off on their own. Maximus is not in the season premiere, by the way. We didn't feature him. I don't know what's up with him. I don't know where his story is. They brought up, where he last was in the, last season on, but they didn't advance his story at all in the season premiere. So, we're split into different stories with um, Lucy and the Ghoul, and they also have was it dog meat or something like that? What is the name of the dog that travels along with them? The non-verbal character that I have to follow now. Uh, and there's also we're gonna flash back to her fallout shelter, and down in there you see the one where they came from. uh the head of the shelters, who I think is a little bit more in the know of everything than anybody else, has to deal with, I forget his name. He's not really that important, but he's really feeling like, because he has a PhD in, this is a kind of a solid gag, PhD in event planning. And he's kind of just bothering, like looking for something to do, and they're like, why don't you go start a social group engagement and leave us alone while we're doing this, you know work. So he goes and starts a social group for people who have just found out that they are inbred, and like, it's okay, it's not our fault. And the gag with this is that there are some people who showed up to that meeting hoping that it would turn into like a, let's change the rules so we can actively inbreed. There's some people who know that they're related and they want to get down. They want to. So, and that's kind of, I don't know, it's a little bit of a story. I'm sure it'll pay off more, but that's I think that's what her original vault does. And then there's the vault they opened up to, which is where Stephanie and her husband are raising the baby that's not theirs, which her it's her husband, right? Keeps reminding everybody, this is not my baby. I don't know why I'm looking after it, but this is not my baby. But he hasn't been given a job, so he's just looking after this baby. And Stephanie's like, I can't. I have to be able to lead. the baby likes you, and she's like cutting fruit with like a Bowie knife. Like, gotta be like the most like, do you not have a better knife? And of course, she's in charge, and you see that the communications are severed, and she can't because there's something about how she could just talk to the other vault because she's in charge now. And it's like, oh, you're right, I could, but I love. She's one of those cheese and crackers people instead of cursing. So, um, and then we get to, I think it's Owen, who's with Brain on a Roomba, uh, trapped in that reality, and the Brain is taunting him, trying to get him to, because the Brain controls, I guess, all the electronics, so the lights are off and everything, and he's having a hard time surviving, and he wants Owen to get into the tank that his father was in, who is what Lucy and the Ghoul are looking for. And so he spends the bulk of the episode debating that, or then the Roomba offers him like a shot that would kill him instantly and turn him into dust and have him circulate into the system. But he's like, wait a minute, but there are other things I could do that are not rational. And so he does whatever he considers to be not rational. I don't know what he does, but we'll find out. The Roomba's not happy. So that's where they're at. And then we see we actually open on a stranger and these little black boxes. So if you like black boxes, this is your season. This season is for you, people who like little black boxes. So there's a thing that he's working on, which is sort of like mind control, but it doesn't last for very long and it doesn't work very well because it ends up like blowing your head off after a little while. It has a short span. So what we'll end up seeing from the father, from Lucy's father, is when we finally catch him at the end of the episode, is that he has found a vault where they were trying to perfect the technology. So there's a whole bunch of headless people. But they kept trying to like shrink the box, and he thinks that he can make progress on the box, the mind control box. There's a guy that Lucy and the Ghoul run into who has a box in his head. His head explodes too. Lots of exploding heads are in our future. There's a couple in this episode, but obviously this is going to be a season of head exploding. And I love the audio description around it when Lucy watches one head explode and it continues to like squirt blood out through the stump, and you're just like, the gore. Anyway, okay, so most of the episode is Lucy and the Ghoul. We get a little bit of flashback for Ghoul to when he was human, like we have been doing with Walton Goggins, giving him a little bit more range than just playing this one-dimensional character. And his flashbacks show him being concerned about the trajectory of Vault Tech and what they're doing, and there's some mystery about the richest man, and maybe he's going to go spy on them. He's trying to protect his daughter from all of this, and it's hinting at a larger mystery. They mentioned Vegas a lot, so for people who played the video games, I don't know how you felt about Fallout New Vegas, but feels like we're headed there. Feels like that's going to be a part of this season, is Vegas. I guess they don't have enough confidence in themselves to be able to run multiple seasons, because Fallout Vegas feels like there were other Fallout games before we did Fallout Vegas. So there should be more plot to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we shouldn't have used up all of the pre-Vegas plot, because there was not just like one video game and then Fallout New Vegas. There was at least 3. because there's Fallout, Fallout 2, and Fallout 3. Um, the original Fallout. I don't even think anybody remembers the original Fallout, like on the computer, like old school Fallout before it was on console. So, yeah, there's more story there, but Lucy and the ghoul are tracking down her father and trying to get there and stopping off to talk to various people along the way. Um, there's one group that they find where they kind of capture the ghoul and they have him strung up, and uh, Lucy tries to like talk to them rationally. That doesn't work. So then she, shoots. She's gotten better with her guns and her ability to attack people. So even though she sounds friendly, like she's there to talk to you about Christ, you know, she sounds like one of those people like, "Hi, do you have a moment to talk?" It's like everything she does is like um in a completely different rhythm than everything else of the series. And she frees him and they get out of that situation. They move on to another one where she catches some old lady that's selling flea soup. And that's so disgusting. I gotta give I gotta give props to whoever thought that up. It's not the existence of flea soup, it's how we get flea soup. The lady just like dangles her hair over like a bowl and sprinkles fleas. And she's Lucy looks at it, she's just like, nope. I love that she was considering flea soup for a minute, like optimistically, like, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe this lady gathers enough fleas and kills them and puts them in a soup, and it turns out to be somewhat nutritious. Nope. That's gonna be a hot no on that one. Oh god. So they go off and they find her and the ghoul walk through somebody who's been like separated in half, and the ghoul walks right through like the two different halves of the body, and Lucy walks around it. Um, then they find themselves in yet another situation, and that's when um, she notices the sugar bomb thing box. They go into this other like medical suite where there's this box of cereal like sugar bombs, and I was like, well, that's not telling. Not, and that's when they find this other guy who supposedly her father had taken from the flea woman, and that he has a black box on him, and he has a message for Lucy, and then his head explodes. Um, and that's basically it. And we end on the shot of her dad in some new vault, who's at the head exploding vault and is talking to somebody about, I've done this, this, and this. Now, hopefully, now we can talk about my promotion. So, but we don't know to who. And we never checked on Maximus. So, yeah, Fallout. The mystery continues. Pretty decent. It didn't. I think the head exploding is kind of like the big new mystery that they're introducing here. There wasn't really like a grand one. I have a feeling we're going to touch base on Maximus pretty hard in the next episode, and it'll show us what's happening with them and his army. Uh, they probably just didn't want to squeeze it in with everything else into this episode, which was already like an hour. So, um, that's it. Fallout. What do you think? Are you excited for Fallout to be back? Um, if so, kudos, because I'm back too. I did the first season, I'm doing the second season. That's usually how that works. Unless I just really hated the first season, which is possible, but that's not happening. That didn't happen with Fallout. And I'll be back next week with more Fallout. Until then, see you guys on the other side.